Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 84. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super grateful to have you on my YouTube channel. As you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed this week, what opportunities did we have, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming week. This week was actually amazing. A lot of the levels were respected. We had some great opportunities this week, and I'm gonna show you as much as possible what trades I took, what trades my community took as well, and try to provide you with as much value as possible. Of course, if you're new to the channel, if you're seeing this video for the first time, this channel is all about trading. I share this weekly outlook and setup every Saturday, and over the week I promise to start posting more educational content at least once per week. So make sure you are subscribed, hitting the notification bell in order not to miss the notification when a video is out. And if you already did, let's see what do we have for this week. As always, starting with the DXY to have a look how the dollar performed this week, and there was an amazing performance. Actually, the level that I called was perfectly respected, and we had a massive bull run on the dollar, making for some great short opportunities on EU, AU, and all the other pairs. So let's have a look. As you can see, I've been calling a bullish dollar like since a few weeks. After we had this great pin bar to the downside, then we have this bullish engulfing candle. Then the next week was a little bit bearish to potentially retest all the levels right here. And then this week we actually tried to push up, but we did not engulf this candle. But I really hope that actually next week we're gonna start pushing to the upside. And as for targets, I will be targeting around 92. So I really want to see price reach 92, because as you can see, this is some sort of a lower high right there, and since we pushed to the downside, we still haven't revisited those structural levels right here. The market just pushed down and the market hasn't come back. All right, so I definitely expect those levels to get tapped sooner or later. Then dropping to the daily time frame, the candles are slightly bit confusing right here. Like you can see big wicks, we have lots of gaps as well, but overall what you can see is we have a push, pullback, break of structure as well right there, little pullback, failing to break below the daily high low, because right here I would classify, although unclear, I would classify this as my daily high low. We almost created an equal high low, and then we started to push but still failed to break above this daily high. So we can always mark actually this daily high and then drop to the following time frame where everything makes sense, and my rectangle disappeared again. But as you can see, since the bottom right there, we started changing up, push, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right here, we kind of slowed down a little bit, but after creating this big higher high, I was like, okay, the dollar is starting to turn bullish. Then the levels that I called was this super strong demand area where the move was actually initiated. We tapped in right here, almost double bottom, actually a higher low, strong introduction of pressure. And what I said to my team, and I believe to you actually on Tuesday, so the market pushed higher, created a higher high, then we had a little bit of a pullback, and then the market strongly pushed higher. But can you expect from here the market to just continue making higher highs? No, right? Why? Because there are not enough orders gathered. So what the market does, what the banks do, they are gonna drive the price a little bit lower to catch more orders and to get at the lower price. And where exactly they pushed price into this very strong demand area, we tapped into it, consolidated, and if you drop to the 15 minutes, let me just show you something right there. Zooming in a little bit, you can see strong spike, bullish pressure, retest again, consolidation, break right here of the most recent structure, retest back, and then we had this massive bullish run that provided great opportunities across all the currencies, the other currencies as well. All right, so overall, as I said, looking for a bullish dollar. This was just a little bit of an outlook of what happened. Again, I'm gonna be looking for this strong area for the dollar to get tapped. You can see that again. This is a high, this is a lower high, and then the market is failing to make a lower low as well. So right now we are in some sort of an accumulation phase, right? So if the dollar is about to actually continue down, I would expect to tap into this area again to show us some sign of reversal signals, and then to potentially see the market going up. All right, so yeah, this is what I'm going to be looking for. I want you to pay attention how the market is starting to change as well from the downside. You see higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Each low is higher than the other. So what I would expect the dollar is a little push down, a little bit of accumulation, and then to potentially target new higher highs, and maybe to see the dollar tap into the 92 handle. Having a look on euro dollar on the weekly time frame. So what we saw, this is 3 weeks before, we had this strong bearish engulfing candle to the downside, and it looked like the market wants to reverse. Then the next week we have this bullish candle, which was actually kind of an inside bar, and it actually pulled back to retest some of those areas. And then this week the market started bearish, strongly pushed to the downside, but then as you can see, buyers entered the market and pushed it up. And this candle closed more than 50% than its range, meaning that there were actually a lot of buyers stepping in from that level. Still, keeping in mind the DXY, I will be looking for this levels to get tapped on EU, which is around 1.19, right? So we have pretty nice range, almost 250 pips to target to the downside. So something to keep in mind. Then dropping to the daily, I believe I called this a few weeks, I should say earlier. Yeah, 1 or 2 weeks. We had this sequence of higher highs and higher lows, right? This is the last high. Then we had this break that broke the most recent higher low, perfectly retested it, and then we had a lower low. So after this point, I was bearish on euro, right? I didn't look for longs, I was looking for sells. And then keeping this in mind, we dropped to the 4-hourly time frame, right? So the levels that I was monitoring on EU is this super strong supply area right here that didn't get tapped. But then the market created this sequence of high, higher low, higher high, then started showing us some signs of bearishness. And then I was looking at this level right here to actually enter shorts. But I didn't. I missed it and I didn't get an entry right there. And this was actually the only clear opportunity we saw this week. If I drop to the 15 minutes, let me see where it actually is. Yeah, it was around that area. So as you can see, strong punch into that level, strong pullback, and then the market started to consolidate. And actually, if you have a look on the time, I start analyzing the market right here at 7. And before I figure out that the market was sitting in this level and that it's gonna flush, Frankfurt opened and just flushed the market down. So I was like, oh, okay, this went without me. And then I didn't try to enter shorts right there because the market got a little bit too choppy, and I was like, okay, just leave EU for now. And then as you can see, then for the remaining of the week, we didn't do much on euro, right? So then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see what the market is. My mouse is going mad. What the market is doing right now. Kind of pushed to the downside, kind of wanted to make a lower low, little pullback, double bottom, right now breaking some structure. So currently EU is slightly bit tricky, right? It's a little bit tricky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my major level, which is right here. So this is my major lower high, because then we broke to the downside. We haven't clearly broken structure down because you can see on that move to the downside, we have this big wick. And what those wicks mean is that there are buyers coming in from that level. And if you have a look right there, this is your strong demand area. This is where the market was bought. All right. So actually, if you have a pretty clear look at what the market is doing, bang, it is consolidating. All right. So again, I'm going to zoom in. I'm looking for shorts, but first of all, I actually think the market is going to tap this level right here, which it actually did. All right, so I can remove this. And what I would expect on Monday is to potentially the market to tap again into this level to show me some signs of bearishness, maybe even potentially a nice push to the downside with a lower low. Then I'm going to be looking for a lower high, and then I'm potentially going to take it lower. All right, so I'm having a bearish outlook on EU, but still you can see that we're overall consolidative. So I'm going to be looking for a slightly bit better market structure, and then potentially I'm going to strike it on Tuesday. So make sure to stay tuned for the Telegram analysis. Having a quick look on EJ on the weekly time frame. So after pulling back very strongly with this bearish engulfing candle, we had kind of the bullish candle, and it looked like a creation of a higher low. And this week actually confirmed it because we pulled back a little bit at the beginning of the week, and then we strongly pushed into the highs. Didn't make a higher high, but maybe next week, who knows, we might start pushing to the upside. So then on the daily, I remember I called this kind of formation right here. This is like a distribution or accumulation phase of the market. Then we had this final spike above, and then we strongly break down to the downside, breaking all of the structure. And this means that the market is turning bearish. However, if you also remember, I called this wick right there to get filled and the market to react from it. But then what happened is the market reacted from it, created a lower high, tried to push down, failed to continue lower, broke above, created a new higher high, pull back, higher low, and then we potentially go up, right? And then if I drop to the 4-hourly time frame, we're gonna see this much cleaner. Here we go. Tap into this level, strong push into the highs. We took shorts from right here. Then the market pushed down and it tapped into where the market actually started that big push right there into this support or into this demand area, however you like to call it. We tapped into it. And then right here, I remember we were looking for sales. Nothing was provided. And then we actually broke above. We created a higher high. right? We broke this structure. And then this week, as you can see, the market opened a little bit bearish, created a low, created a little bit of a lower high, then we spiked below again, and then we started to push to the upside. I did not take any trades on EJ, but then if you drop to the hourly time frame, I just wasn't looking at it because you can see like it started a little bit consolidate right here, strong meltdown to the downside, then we broke up, then we consolidated again, and then we like started pushing up, creating nice push, correction, push, and this is actually Friday right here. So no trades were taken by me on EJ, but I remember we had a short from right here, but this is from the previous week. So yeah, this week, nothing overall on EJ. But if I just break it down, right, so we have this level, that was the last higher low, then we push up, slight pullback right here, slight slowdown, and then we had this strong impulse to the upside, tapping into a little bit of a resistance right here, which is worrying me. But then if you have a look from the bottom, we're having this kind of a bullish trend, right? So right now, all we have to wait is for the market to pull back. You can see that we have a pretty nice level right here for potential retest. So the market might open a little bit bearish to create a slight complex correction, and then to potentially provide us with a long opportunity from right here. If you have a look on the hourly, again, the same formation, guys, a little tip from me. When you have a market strongly impulsing to the upside, creating a very little pullback, not even a 38.2 fib, and then again creates a higher high, it will immediately rebound and then it will start pushing to the downside. Why? Because there is not enough liquidity, there is not enough orders for the market to continue pushing up. So I believe on market open, we're gonna have a little bit of a drop down to the downside, potentially tap into this area where actually orders are lying, and then we are gonna have a reaction. So let's see. All right, let's have a look at the Aussie pair that I traded this week, and I missed a great opportunity. I wasn't triggered, but then we took it to the long side, took a loss, then took a win. So it was a pretty nasty pair, but let's have a look. So as you can see, this weekly candle is overall bearish, but nothing too much. It is a bearish engulf, that engulfed the previous candle, so that is fine, but it's really not showing really sentiment to the downside, so I can say, wow, look at that, we have this bearish candle and we can potentially expect the market to continue down. So from weekly, nothing too much. We can still expect a pretty deep pullback, but the market hasn't really shown us clear signs of a reversal yet, right? So as you can see, the last few days right here, actually since 6th of January, we've been stuck in this consolidation and actually starting to trend a little bit to the downside. And then from the daily, I had this level right here as a demand area. Then you can see how the market tapped, and I took a long from here, which I'm gonna show you just right now. And then I tried to take a short. So let me just, because there are a lot of things on Aussie that happened. Well, I think, yeah, the short was I tried to take it from right there, simply because you can see again, like the market from the highs pushed lower, pull back, lower high, then we had a little bit of a fake, so didn't really make a higher high, but then we strongly broke to the downside, creating a lower low. And then I was focused on this sort of areas right there, which the market tapped, and then it started creating downtrend again, right? Downtrend, 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 and then we had this strong spike above. So have a look, this is the same formation right here. You have a breakdown, push, pullback, strong spike, and a reversal. You have, where is it? Breakdown, is it this one? No, you have a breakdown, push, pullback. No, this is wrong. Well, yeah, what I mean, guys, is that you're always going to have that final push before the big reversal. And even though the market was starting to create lower lows and lower highs right there, we had this final push and then the market reversed, just like this one right here. So I tried to catch this one, then dropping to the hourly time frame. Then we had this strong impulse to the upside, and then we have this final push to the upside to actually tap into, I had marked these levels right here, the market to actually tap into it, and then we broke down. And I was like, let's go, man, this is flushing. So what I did is I was waiting for a retest, right? Oh man, I was looking for a retest of this area. I had my order set up right there. This was like market open, and I was like, okay, let's see. I'm not sure how I kept my stop loss. I think I didn't keep it like this. I minimized it as much as possible to 10 pips, I believe. Then I even consulted with the 5-minute. It was looking not that bad. Again, yes, you can see pullback, strong breakdown to the downside. We started consolidating, and I just set my order right here at the structural level. Missed me out by a few pips, and here we go. Yeah, massive. Yeah, I wouldn't have held this possibly to the downside. But yeah, with this strategy, like 15 R&R is easy. But fortunately, poor Iliya did not get triggered into the trade. But then what did I do? Let me delete all of this. Man, my mouse is going mad with that. scroll button. I was looking at like for take profit areas, and as you can see, we have this low, this low, this low, this low right here. The market strongly broke below, and I was expecting a strong rebound, but I was like, okay, when will the market start that rebound? And I actually found this sort of level just right here. Why is this a strong level? You see pullback, little push, little bit of a slowdown, and then boom, huge move to the upside. So I was like, okay, this is where the big move started. Tap into it, and I started looking for longs. What I did though is I forced one trade, which was exactly after this candle rejected, and I was like, okay, we are ready to go. I dropped to the 5 minute. Let me see, I saw some sort of a break. Yeah, I saw this break of structure, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the market to pull back to potentially retest this area, and I'm gonna enter. The market tapped this area, boom. We had some sort of a rebound. No, we didn't, all right? It was just a straight stop loss, right? And then what I said, I was like, okay, let's wait a little bit more. Let's wait a little bit more. And then the market actually started finding some support right here, started pushing up. And then again, I consolidated the 5 minute. And as you can see, all right, we have a double bottom, fine. Push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. It started creating higher highs and higher lows. Now I'm like, okay, this looks good. And then what I did is I just looked at the lows right there again. Where did the move get initiated? From right here. And I was like, I'm just gonna wait for the market to tap me in here, and I'm gonna enter with a slightly bigger stop loss. Yeah, let me see. Actually, I think I have the trade. Where are you? No, I don't have it. That is a big pity. All right, doesn't matter. If I just show you, I entered from right there, something like this. I didn't enter exactly at the area. Stop loss was 8 pips, I remember. And then I was targeting an hourly level. Let me just show you how this tapped in. Boom, it tapped in right there. And then it started strongly to impulse. And I believe this was around 1 to 10 or something. Yeah, exactly. So I was targeting this level right here where another downwards move was initiated, got tapped to perfection, and then we started having that rebound to the downside. So this was a one loss, but then one big win. This is how we trade. Amazing. So it's been 5 minutes since I'm talking about AU. So let's just quickly break it down, right? So what will I expect for the upcoming week? Well, again, as you can see, we are overall in this bullish market. The market spiked to respect this daily level as well. Right now, we're kind of starting to consolidate a little bit. So if I'm to mark what the actual structure is showing, we're showing a downtrend right now, right? And although I took a long, this is going down. We have this lower high formation, and then the market failed to break above it. And right now we have this bullish bearish formation also, which kind of indicates indecision. And on the hourly time frame, you can see resistance, resistance, resistance. So the market fails to break above that area. So if it comes again into that area and then potentially respect it, I might look for shorts. Keep in mind that we have a super strong demand area right here as well. So currently what I'm going to be focused on AU is these two levels to see if the market is going to break, retest either of them, or if it's going to respect to take a long, respect to take a short. But I'm just going to wait for Monday to develop, and then I'm potentially going to strike. And then having a quick look on AJ, I'm not trading this one because it doesn't look as good as AU. Like you can see, big wick on the weekly time frame. On the daily, again, we had that drop to the downside, we respected those levels. Then on the 4-hourly time frame, we had the same level right here. This one that perfectly got respected, so you actually have a long opportunity right there as a reversal trade. But before that, like, it wasn't entirely clear to me. You can drop to the lower time frames to search for an entry right there. But yeah, AJ, I don't like it. I'm just focusing on the majors one right now, like AU, NZD, and the others as well. This one changed a little bit to bullish, right? We had this strong push to the upside. We broke structure right now, pulling back. So pretty eager to see if we're going to respect that level to potentially start pushing up. But if AU starts pushing down, then this is going to influence this one as well. So for AJ, like, if you just have a careful look, we're kind of stuck in this consolidation. So I'm definitely waiting for something clear to happen, and then I'm going to reanalyze. Let's have a quick look on the NZDs. Starting from NZUSD, you can see this weekly candle is a big long-legged doji, so indicating that this week was just up and down and nothing too much was introduced. Then dropping to the daily, as you can see, the last 5 days, the market opened right there, a little bit bullish, strong bearish, tap into a demand area, reaction from it, but nothing much happened. And as you can see, actually this one has been stuck in this range for quite some time. And if I drop to the 4-hourly time frame, you're gonna see it actually super clearly. You can see support, breakdown to the downside, respect sorry, this is resistance. Respected the resistance again, then respects the support, and is just jumping in between that range. Therefore, I'm not really loving this pair right now. But had kind of the same setup as AU. We strongly pushed to the downside. We tapped into this supportive level right there. We reacted, again pulled back. We created a higher high right now. So it kind of the most recent structure looks like it's changing to the upside. But you can see from the top that we're starting to reverse a little bit. So in order for me to take like a really high probability long, I would need to see a break because we have this overall supply area just right there. Just right here. And you can see double top right there, the highs right there. They got manipulated. This is why this big push to the downside. But still, I think if the market comes into that area, we're gonna have a reaction. But if the reaction actually creates a higher low right there, that's gonna be fine to take a long. All right. So NZD/USD, I didn't take any trades on this one. What I'm gonna be focused on is this level because it looks like a higher low and it's a confirmed higher low. Why? Because we broke the most recent high right here, yeah, which was a lower high. Right, I hope I'm not confusing right now. It's just following very simple structure, right? We have a push, one candle of pullback. This is a lower low, breaking structure to the downside. And this makes this little one the last lower high. Then we pull back to create a double top, right? I call it equal lower high. But then when we have an equal lower high, I always teach my guys that you can always expect a head and shoulders as well. Here is your head and shoulders. Right now we break above the structure, therefore this is your higher high. And right now we are in a higher low formation. All right, so I really hope that's clear. I hope I'm not confusing you right there. Therefore, I will be looking for longs on NZD/USD. Again, you can see how clear it is on the hourly. Push, correction, push, correction. So let's see how market is gonna open. And potentially I'm gonna target the highs right there. And once it reaches the highs, I'm gonna reevaluate and see how I can adjust my analysis. And then NJ, as you can see, this one is pretty much bearish. This is because of the Japanese yen, of course. Dropping to the weekly, yeah, overall bullish week on NJ, unlike NZD/USD, pretty nice. On the daily, yeah, the last day actually really spiked to the upside, taking out the high right there. Have a look how it actually took out the high and then it reversed to the downside. Then dropping to the hourly, yes, this is actually tapping into a very, very, very strong resistance level. So keep that in mind. But overall, you can see how the market again was accumulating higher highs, higher lows, strong breakdown to the downside to tap into, let's say, this sort of levels right there, where it was accumulating, and then all of a sudden, boom, strong move to the upside. So we manipulate there, push to the upside again, little bits of pullback right there, but actually broke above the EMA, respect of the EMA, and then a strong impulse to the upside. So I can say that very shorter term, this is reversing to the upside, but what I would like to see is potentially the market to revisit either those areas or maybe even to retest those lower areas right there before clearly reversing to the upside. All right. So right now we're encountering resistance. We can have the market tap right there, try to push up, but fail to grab volume, push right there, create a little bit of a reversal formation, and then we can reverse to the upside. All right. So this is my plan on the NZDs, just waiting for a little bit clearer structure, and let's see what's going to happen on Monday and then potentially on Tuesday. All right, let's have a look at some USD, starting from USD JPY. Finally, a super nice bullish engulfing candle to the upside, breaking for the first time above and closing above the EMA, which is something pretty significant. So what we can potentially expect is a little bit of a pullback first to occur, and then potentially we can start pushing to the upside. So dropping to the daily, you can see that line that I marked corresponds with some sort of a structure on the daily, but definitely the market can come to retest those areas where the actual move was initiated. And as you can see, I'm not sure if I called this one actually, but we had a lower low. Then we had actually the market break the most recent lower high. This is what I just explained on the previous pair. This means that we have a new creation of a higher high. So what it means is that we're gonna have a pullback potentially, either a head and shoulders or just a higher low, and then we're gonna explode to the upside, which is exactly what happened. So very nice performance on UJ this week. I did not trade this one. But then again, you can see there was a little bit of a shorts right here, short opportunity, then we strongly drop to the downside. We tap into some sort of a structural level right here. Let's say this one right there. And then the market taps and starts to reverse. It wasn't entirely clear right there that the market is actually reversing. And I thought, okay, this is a lower high, right? Because we had this push to the downside, we pull back. This looks like a lower high in order to push down. But then all of a sudden, we started to strongly impulse to the upside, and I was like, oh man, okay, we are reversing. So I actually couldn't manage to grab any trades on UJ. But right now you can see we're clearly trending to the upside. And again, as I said on the daily, we can go as low as, let's say, this level right here, these sort of wicks, these sort of structural levels. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see that we have this big structure right here that hasn't been retested, right? And then you have actually this little consolidation area that hasn't been retested as well. So don't expect the market to just open and to start continuing strongly to the upside, because it doesn't have enough orders to do so. So I think we're going to open a little bit bearish. We're going to either tap into this area and reverse, or if this area doesn't hold, we might continue to tap into this area and then to potentially reverse. All right. So we can have something like this on USDJPY, potentially 1 or 2 bearish days, and then to create a higher low, right? And then to potentially start impulsing to the upside. As for targets, well, you can see right here, this is a pretty nice target right there. Potentially 10, yeah, let's say 105 is a little bit too low. I would say 105,500 will be a nice level to target, because as you can see right here, the market strongly pushed down, pulled back exactly in the same level, and then it created a downtrend as well. So I believe this level will get tapped again, and then potentially we're gonna have some sort of a reaction. All right. So let's see on UJ, looking for a little bit of a pullback, and then potentially I'm gonna be looking for longs. USD CAD along with USD Swiss franc are pairs that I removed from my watch list. I don't like how they moved, especially USD Swiss franc, but UCAD is a little bit cleaner, but still I just don't like the overall behavior, because if you have studied UCAD, it has a very consolidative nature, meaning that most of the times it is in consolidations. And when it exits a consolidation, it creates a big trend, for example, and then it enters into a consolidation phase again. And if you just zoom out a little bit, you can see big consolidations, strong push to the downside. Consolidation, strong push to the downside. Then again, consolidation, strong push. And right now we're again stuck in this consolidation for quite some time and potentially expecting a move. So this is a little tip from me. This is how UCAD actually moves. And then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, this is the price action that we've been playing for since January opened. We have this push to the downside, then we have this push to the upside, then we have this push to the downside, then we have this push to the upside. So are you taking longs or are you taking shorts? Right? So it's just playing within that range. It made the lower low right there. So I thought that we're going to have some shorts right here. The market showed some pressure, but then it broke up. And I'm like, okay, then this is a higher high. And then we create a double bottom, actually an equal higher low. And then we strongly push to the upside. So overall, we had a bullish week on UCAD, but I'm not trading this one currently. Right? And yeah, but if I am to break it down right now, it kind of looks like it wants to change up, right? So we have a series of lower lows again. The last lower low right there, push, pull back, and then these 2 days right here broke some sort of structure, broke some sort of daily structure. And then on the 4-hourly time frame, it's actually clear that we actually closed above this big swing high right there. So what could happen on UCAD is we can come to retest these sorts of regions right there, because they haven't been clearly retested. You can see again, strong push to the upside, pullback. The market does not have enough orders to continue pushing up, so it creates a double top and then it starts to push down. We can take a short from right there, right? We can take a short as a retest, but I think that the market is going to push to the downside. To tap into those areas, to react from it, to pull back, double bottom, break, retest, and then we can potentially start targeting the highs and new higher highs, right? So having a look how the dollar is starting to change a little bit bullish. I think this UCAD as well is starting to change bullish. So let's see how it's going to respond to those areas right there, and if it's going to turn. Make sure to wait for a little bit of a structure change, because right now actually the market is starting to shift to the downside. We have a push, we have a pullback. So this is actually a short setup right there, but I expect for it to tap into this region, to react from it, to show us some bullish signs, and then to potentially start pushing up with the newly introduced trends to the upside. All right, so let's see. And USD Swiss franc, since December, since actually, yeah, the beginning of December, it's been stuck in this range and it hasn't moved out. It shows us some bullishness, then it drops down, shows some bullishness, bearishness, bullishness again. As you can see, we're just stuck in this range. Dropping to the daily time frame, this is what you have. Like, it looks like a nice inverse head and shoulders as well, but just keep in mind that there is a very strong resistance levels right here. There are a lot of people selling from that area, making it hard for buyers to actually break through. But I think we're gonna break through very soon, because you see that the dollar is overall changing to the upside. We had this push, we had this pullback right there, but it's still failing. And then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, yeah, I just don't want to break this down because it doesn't make any sense, right? So even if I try, like if I just have a look at the most recent structure, ignoring what's on the left, again, we have a push to the upside, which is a lower high. If you look at this, right, let's build a story. You have a lower high. We push to the downside, lower low. This is your lower high. So you look for sells. And what do you expect? A lower low. But does it happen? No, it actually creates a higher low and it retests this structure. And then we start breaking up, making higher highs as well. So right now the market is actually bullish from in terms of full hourly structure. The level that I'm going to be monitoring is this one, not to get broken potentially. And for the beginning of the week, I am not going to be trading this one until I see some clear bullish trend being introduced. All right. So be careful with shorting USD Swiss franc because it's going to fake above. Be careful with going long as well because it hasn't really clearly shown bullish intent and sentiment. So again, be careful with this one and just wait for some clear price action. All right, it's time to have a look at some GBPs, as always, starting from GU weekly time frame. What do we have right there? Nothing much. We just have a spinning top right there. Nothing pretty much from the weekly time frame. It's overall bullish market, right? I don't have any areas to mark on the weekly. The price action looks pretty good, overall bullish. Then we can drop to the daily time frame, which is pretty interesting because again, we have that series of higher highs and higher lows and the market hasn't reversed yet. So as you can see, since there, we have a higher high, right? We have a pullback, higher low formation. So we took longs from there. We have a push, higher high, higher low. We took longs from here. We have a push, a pullback, and we took longs from here actually this week as well. So I'm going to show you. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame. Again, everything looks clear. We had this drop to the downside, which was actually a higher low, respecting this level right there. We strongly push into the highs, creating a higher high. And then we started creating those lows right there. And actually we took a long, I believe, on this push to the downside right here. Why? Because again, there is this sort of level right here, a little bit of a slowdown before the move up. And it was actually a daily level right here. This is the daily candle that created the higher low formation. We actually took a short. First of all, let me just see. Yeah, we took a short from right there and the long should have been from right here actually. So if I drop to the hourly time frame, so I'm not sure how many of you have looked at the Wyckoff, but this is a little bit of a kind of a schematic for it. As you can see on the 15-minute, we have this big consolidation right here. The market starts, strong push up, pull back. A little bit of accumulation, fake out again, trying to break lower, but then we have this final spike to the upside to take out all the liquidity right there above. And then we have this breakdown to the downside. All right, so where we executed on this one is on the retest of the most recent structure. Short opportunity from right there, stop loss always above the structure, which was a little bit bigger. But yeah, if you drop to the lower time frames, which I'm not gonna drop, we actually have had a smaller stop loss than that. And then I believe targets were exactly right here on that level right here for retest, which was a pretty nice trade. It was actually a bigger R&R than this because the stop loss was tighter on the lower time frames, but I'm just illustrating how we actually took the trade. So you can maybe go even to the 3 minutes to have a look like how you could have kept a tighter stop loss around those areas. Then let me show you, let me see. Then we actually took a long, but I actually think the long is not from here. Let me just drop to the 15-minute. Where are you long? Is it from here? No, it's not from here. It is from right there, I believe. So again, if I drop to the 4-hourly time frame, there is a level that we targeted there. Yep, so after taking the short, the market pushes into this level, right? Then dropping to the hourly time frame, we actually looked into this zone right there. Why this zone? Because just have a look, guys. The market taps into this area and a strong move into the highs. Very strong move, right? And then we slowly go into that level. So we took a short from here. We could have ridden it all the way down there. We tap into this area and have a look at the reaction immediately. Push to the upside. Then we have a little bit of a pullback to create a higher low, and then we push into the highs, right? And then if I drop to the 15-minute time frame, have a look. We have a little bit of accumulation right there. We push to the highs, we break structure, and we retest the most recent structure right there. And even if I drop to the 5-minute, it's gonna be cleaner. Have a look. This is your most recent structure. We have a retest, maybe still for a little bit of a drawdown and a little bit of if you enter right there, your stop loss should be below the structure, just right here. But as long as the stop loss is safe, then you're free to go. And then you can ride it to the upside. And as you can see, it reached again another 5 bar into the highs right there where we actually took our shorts. So as you can see, this week, GU was just bouncing from support to resistance. But if you can learn around those levels and how to take trades around such supply and demand areas, then everything gets super powerful. And then again, actually, I think it was the last trading week, if I delete everything, the market again, after creating a higher high, pulled back to tap into again another supportive level, then dropping to the 15-minute. You can see right here, the 15-minute wasn't that clear right there. Yeah, this is why I didn't take a trade, and this was actually on Friday. I was looking on the market, but then you really have to go to the 5-minute. It tapped into that area, broke structure, but didn't provide me with the rules that I usually need to see before taking a trade. Therefore, I skipped this long to the upside, but keep in mind that this was actually a great opportunity to go long as well. Right, there was actually one on EU, but I only paper traded this one. I didn't take it. Right. So after breaking down the true trades on GU, beautiful trades, the R&R was actually bigger than that. What is the market doing right now? Well, very simple, just consolidating. Right. And even though it is consolidating, it is always good to spot on GU all of those supply and demand areas. But currently it's a little bit harder, right? Because it is clear that currently we're stuck between this resistance and this support right here. So what I would advise you to do on GU is to drop to the hourly time frame and just see how the market jumps from support to resistance. Right now, the last support that we respected is this one. So this turns into your higher low. So as long as the market pulls back a little bit right there, you can take a long. But personally on GU, I'm going to be waiting for something, and I haven't checked the economic calendar, but I think there will be some sort of a news release to really push the market up or down. So guys, again, make sure to stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis, because so far this is all I have. Possibly what could happen is the market can run into these levels right there and do something like this. Strong punch to the downside and then a reversal. So this is something that I'm going to be looking at as well, but this is a move of 200 pips. So we can definitely look for shorts around that move, but first of all, we need to see the hourly actually show us shorts, because currently it is actually longs. All right. So enough on GU. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Quick look on GJ. Again, super bullish because you saw that UJ had a nice explosion and it brings all the JPYs with it as well. Massive bullishness on GJ. As you can see, the big weekly candle dropping to the daily, keeps exploding up, which actually hinders GU to push down as well. And then dropping to the hourly time frame. I didn't take trades on that one. But as you can see, 25th, spike to the downside to tap into this level. I'm not sure if I actually coded this one, but we tapped into that area, reversed, creating a high, then formed this supportive level where you can look for longs as well. Right there, tap into the EMA, strong move into the highs, and this actually sums up the week on GJ. Maybe if I have a look on the hourly time frame, this wasn't entirely clear for me to take a long, because when I see consolidation, I always expect a fake below the consolidation, but this didn't happen clearly. Then we impulsed to the upside, and this was already like Friday, Thursday, so I didn't look for trades on GJ. But what could happen on this one is it can create a little bit of a downtrend before it moves up. All right, so these areas haven't been retested yet. So I'm going to be looking for potential retest on those areas and then potentially to take the market up. So let's see how it opens and let's see how it's going to develop. On GA, I told you many times that I'm not liking this pair because so far we had this price action, and for me, it's pretty hard to work with this, right? And even if I drop to the hourly time frame, it's even choppier than that. But right now we had this sort of introduction of bullishness right there, which is very good to see. Right, and again we have a push, little pullback, failure to make a higher high, which makes me think that we're gonna start pulling back towards those levels. So on GA as well, I'm gonna expect a rebound a little bit, push into that level. Maybe if it starts creating some bullish structure, then we can take it long potentially. So super simple breakdown on GA, where it can reach to, well, possibly have a look where the actual move started, right there. Strong move, then we have this strong move right there. So yeah, not too many clear targets, but first of all, I really want to figure out if this is going up. Therefore, I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback potentially, and then to take it long from these sorts of areas, which is not some sort of a strong number, 77,500 possibly. It can tap into 78, right? But it can go a little bit lower. So again, guys, not to go into details, let's wait for Monday to see how it plays out, and then we're potentially going to strike. As for Euro GBP, this is not on my watch list anymore as well. What I think is going to happen on that one though, is it's going to tap into this weekly demand area. Why is this a demand area? Because this is the big push, pullback, and after this pullback, the market started creating bullish trend, which is not really bullish, but yeah, overall consolidation. This is why I don't like trading Euro GBP. but currently we're tapping into that area, and it's starting to show some sort of signs. You can see for how long it's been consolidating right here, consolidating, tap into that area, reacted from it, pulled back, but it hasn't really broken the highs. So my most recent high is this one, and before I really start taking longs, I need to see the market clearly break above, then pull back, and then potentially I'm going to be taking a long. But in terms of opportunities this week on Euro GBP, it opened right there on the 25th, consolidation, made the high of the week, strong push to the downside, low, went into the middle of the move, pushed down again. I don't see this market clearly, therefore I don't have it on my watch list. And actually, this is summing up the GBPs. My main focus is on GU because it moves super clear. GJ is also fine. GA is starting to look a little bit better, and Euro GBP is not on my watch list. So let me know if you actually trade Euro GBP. Do you have success with it? Do you want me to still cover it? Let me know in the comments, and let's see what else do we have for this week. Having a look at gold, it still hasn't moved a bit this week. As you can see, we're having this indecision candle right there, and then if I drop to the daily time frame, I still have the same analysis. Like you can see from the 25th, the market opened right there, moved a little bit down, then spiked a little bit up, and that's it. Nothing happened. So still on gold, I am only looking to trade the higher time frames on this one, meaning the daily and maybe even the 4 hourly, but the 4 hourly is just stuck in this big consolidation, right? So I'm just waiting for the market to exit that consolidation. I'm waiting for that catalyst that is going to drive the market somewhere, and then to potentially reevaluate. So what I like, there are two takes that could happen. The market might spike down to grab liquidity and then reverse, or it might first go up to take a short, then to drive the price lower into those levels, and then from here we can take a long potentially. All right. So guys, this is gold for me. I am not trading it right now and just waiting for something to happen. So of course, be patient. And if you're finding yourself losing trades on gold, because I have a few people from the community that take gold and they're taking some losses and it's not playing out as expected. So I always tell them to cut out gold right now, wait for something clear to happen, and then start striking it once the structure is clear. All right. So that's my take on gold. Let's have a look at some indices. Having a look at US30, a massive bearish engulfing candle to the downside. This was expected because the market keeps just pushing too much. Dollar is starting to push up as well, and we're having the stock market immediately react as well. And we have a lot of things happening with GameStop as well, and with all of those and all that stuff, FOMO people. So yeah, right now it seems like the market is starting to correct a little bit, which is good news for investors because they can put more money in the market. But yeah, from the daily, you see that we had this strong breakdown, then we had this strong push to the upside again, and then we massively broke down to the downside. So it's been pretty volatile week for US30. So I really hope you are trading safe. And in terms of levels, you can see that there, oops, I actually marked it with a line. That's fine. You can see that right there, we have a pretty strong level of support, right? The market tapped, reversed, tapped again, reversed. So right now we're tapping again, and I want to see how it's going to react. As you can see, this is the 30,000 mark handle. So this is pretty important. So yeah, for US30, I'm just waiting to see how it's going to react. Is it going to drop lower? I will potentially buy some stocks because if you see S&P500 is down as well. But yeah, definitely be careful with longs. Make sure to wait for a little bit of a structure change, potentially a push pullback, and then a confirmed higher high that the market will break this high right there, and then to potentially confirm a new higher high, and then from here you can actually look for a pullback and a continuation up. All right, so be careful. Having a look at NASDAQ as well, it is pulling back into some major levels. If I look on the daily time frame, we have this sort of level right there, right? Strong break to the downside. On the 4 hourly, we're tapping into this level, as you can see right here. Support, resistance, break, retest, strong move to the upside. Almost reached the level, but right now we're almost reaching it again. So let's see, we might make another leg to the downside, but yeah, if I just make the level bigger, I think that is perfectly fine. As for the handle, again, you can see 2800, 12,800 could be a handle. Again, I'm not too experienced with indices. I'm not trading them, but I would expect the market to tap right there, potentially push, pull back. After a confirmed higher high, this is only when I'm gonna start looking for buys. All right. So let's see. Again, the stock market might be about to crash. Who knows? We know nothing. But my main interest is S&P 500 because this is what I'm actually buying. And as you can see, we had a drop, pull back again, and a strong lower low. So I'm potentially gonna put some money at the beginning of the next month, or I'm just gonna wait a little bit to see how the structure is gonna develop. But this flushed 5%, which is nice. Maybe we can expect a little bit more. Like I know 8% is pretty nice, but you can see how far the market will be driven if we flush for 8%, but that is perfectly possible. All right, because we broke the most recent higher low, meaning that we're introducing a bearish trend right now. So pretty interesting story on the indices that is building up. And again, just be careful with trading those things, because I'm investing, I'm not trading them. And yeah, be careful with your lot sizes. All right, guys. So I really hope you got something valuable from this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you have any ideas for me, if you appreciate the videos, if you found something valuable, what made sense for you for this video, what you managed to extract. Always make sure to let me know. Stay tuned for the videos that are upcoming as well. I'm gonna be doing more of them. And yeah, have a crushing week. Have a relaxing weekend as well, and talk to you on Tuesday. Make sure to stay tuned for the Telegram analysis.